welcome to #Toe-to-Toe. My name is Leanne Johnson-Arnison and I am joined, as always, by Spencer Fearon.
Hello.
And Matchroom's new signing, Joshua Buatsi.
Morning, everyone.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Moving over to the pro ranks.
Yeah.
What's it like signing with Eddie?
I feel it's the right move for me to make. Most importantly, I'm glad to be part of this team, to have this platform, and the big question mark is now out there. So it's for me to give the answers that people want to know. Some people are doubting, some people are like, yep, this guy's going to go all the way. We're yet to find out.
Find out on July 1st as
July
well.
the 1st, yeah. The debut starts July the 1st. Looking forward to it, looking to, to do what I do best, and that's to close the show. So we'll see how it goes. Be there, tune in, and I'm looking forward to it.
So we've had our viewers send in some tweets for you to answer, so we'll get started.
I reckon one of the questions I'm going to be asked is going to be by Spencer Fearon. But let it begin.
You're a funny guy. Oh, well, do you want to get out of the way? Okay, then, right, all right. Because there's a kid called Anthony Yard, right? And that's all you've been getting on Twitter. So it's not one of the questions, but yeah, we hear your name's being merged.
He's gone straight in there.
Yeah, he's jumped straight in, but it's the matter of the fact that when I go on Twitter, the question is Buatsi Yard, who wins, when is it going to happen? For me, his career's already started. He's 11 or 10 fights in, which is fantastic. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. I'm yet to start mine, so let mine start, then we'll see what will happen. So it's a fight that, if it happens, it will be great. In fact, it has to happen. So it's just a matter of time, and then it will happen.
Sorry. What's his first name?
Anthony Yard.
His first name? Anthony. And what's your first name?
Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. You guys are going to make a lot of money together. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
Okay, so getting started. Super Mid News at Super Mid Box TV. If De Gale is injured, who would you put Groves in with next? Ramirez, WBO?
No. I would say Callum Smith. For the simple fact that Callum Smith is challenging for the world title against Anthony Giroud. He's fighting for the WBC title. Fingers crossed he comes out successful, and it's not an easy ask for him, but I believe that he can win that fight. And if he wins that fight, then that George Groves versus Callum Smith is a stadium fight. They will make fantastic money together, and it'll be great for British boxing. It's a fantastic time for British boxing right now. That's the fight I want to see.
Likewise, what Spence said, I think, for that fight to happen, it's going to be big. I wish Callum Smith all the best to go out to the US and to bring the title. For me, if I were him, I would have said, stay in England and box De Gale. It's going to be a fight in your home country. It's going to be a lot of supporters. Again, possibly a stadium fight. So, but he's taking the other option, which is not a bad option. So like Spence said, I wish him all the best. If he goes out there, does the job, and then brings the title back, then most of the title within that division will be in England. So the division is booming at the moment.
Steve Parsons at Steve Parsons. If Mikey Garcia beats Adrien Broner, will this elevate him to world star? Spencer, you can start us off.
I think he's a star. Well, we say like world star. I'm being real. If Mikey Garcia was in England right now, I'm just being real, because this is where boxing's at right now. You're very lucky that you're over here. That's what I'm saying to you. You didn't detour and go to America. You came here, right? I would say it will elevate him for the fact that Adrien Broner has not fulfilled his potential. When you saw Adrien Broner, when he just turned pro and he became super featherweight champion and a lightweight champion, you thought the sky was the limit for this guy. And unfortunately, because of extracurricular activities outside of boxing, he's come up short. He like in the Sean Porter fight, he's come up short, especially in the Madonna fight. Now, Garcia moving up, because he's already a freeweight world champion. If Garcia moves up now and blaps his, which I think he's capable of doing, because I think he's a superb fighter, obviously he's going to become, that's going to elevate him to become a world star.
Who do you think wins?
I think Garcia wins this fight. I think Broner has got all the talent in the world, but he's slow off the mark. And like I was saying earlier to Joshua while I was in the lifts, it's never about what you've done in 6 weeks preparation to the fight. It's what you've done 6 months, or sometimes maybe a year, 2 years between those fights. And unfortunately, Adrien Broner has not lived the correct life. He's called the problem, and he's a problem to himself.
What do you think?
I think Garcia is already a star. He's undefeated, a freeweight world champion. Does he beat Broner? Personally, like Spencer's saying again, based on the way they've been living, I don't live in the US, so I don't know how they live their life, but from what I can see, I think that Garcia has been more dedicated to the sport. Even the time that he was expelled from the game, he still kept things up, and he's come back, he's won a world title. Does Garcia beat Broner when they meet? In my eyes, he does. But again, the problem is always a problem, so it's a fight to look forward to.
T-Unit at Tom Husband, what's your thoughts on Anthony Joshua getting an exemption with the IBF, but Tyson Fury got stripped within 5 days?
What do you think?
I think it's a liberty. But I'm going to tell you why. If we can just revert back to, 2015 when he became world champion Tyson Fury. Mick Hennessy, his promoter or manager, his promoter, said like he would not be dictated to by the IBF. You have to understand that this is a business what you're in, right? There's tricks in trade and mechanics in business. The IBF are looking and saying, okay, you've got the world heavyweight champion, but you're not a power position mover. You're not a power player, so you can't dictate to us. You cannot even be so rude. You should be gracious towards us because we're the sanctioning body. And the difference is this: with Eddie Hearn, he's got power base because like we've got multiple world champions, and I think it's all to do with negotiations. And not only that, but the IBF, they get sanctioning fees. A sanctioning fee percentage from Klitschko versus Joshua will be larger than anything that Klitschko versus Tyson Fury would have been, and that's why I think it's all down to money and politics and everything else, but that's what I think it's down to.
What do you think, Josh?
It being down to the money and, you know, who draws in the crowd and the type of style that they have and, you know, how the fight was. There's a lot to consider.
Is it fair, do you think?
I personally think everyone should be treated fairly.
100%.
Is it fair? No, because Fury was treated different to the way Josh was treated. But then you can say, you know, Fury, it's not drawing or it's not as exciting as Joshua is. And being real, there's a lot of force behind Josh. Is that same force behind Fury? We don't know. But is it fair in my eyes? No, they both should have been treated the same.
100%.
Josh Rosenberg has asked, is Lee Haskins going to be too experienced for Ryan Burnett?
You know what? Lee Haskins is very, very good. And when we're talking about this thing of experience, you have to think, when you merge experience, skill, timing that he has, he's very, very complete, right? But Ryan Burnett has impressed me. Ryan Burnett is a very, very good fighter. I think Adam Booth said, like, if Ryan Burnett was to do a quarter of what he does inside the gym, in the ring, he'd be a world beater. And by what I'm looking at him now, we're seeing the fights that he's had, when becoming British champion and everything else, he is very, very good. So this is a great fight, and it's going to be a difficult one. Maybe he could old man him out of him, but the thing about it is this: Lee Haskins doesn't really fight like a veteran kind of. He's kind of guns blazing. So if he is, or should be too experienced, he's got to use his experience, because if he doesn't, he's going to come a cropper, and Ryan's going to beat him.
Move on to the next question as we're running out of time. But Tommy Ellison has asked, will Triple G stop Canelo? We'll start with you, Joshua.
Personally, I think he will. People's minds have changed, you know, because we saw Canelo box the other day or whatever. But for me, Triple G is still the man. Didn't perform that well against Danny Jacobs, but Danny Jacobs and Canelo Alvarez do not have the same style. So for me, Triple G is still the man.
Spencer?
No, I think this fight's going to go points, and I think Canelo's going to get it, disputed points win. Right? Seriously, you have to look about where you are. If Canelo could fight Floyd Mayweather and one of the judges goes in his favour and he loses to Floyd Mayweather on a split decision, when everyone knows that Floyd Mayweather comprehensively outpointed him, I think that there's going to be some little tricks in this, and I think that he's going to be outpointed. But not only that,
without the tricks, is he going to get outpointed? Or
without the tricks, he's got a very, very good jab, and his jab adds to the fact of the trickery. Yeah. So I'm saying he's got a very, very good jab, and Golovkin hasn't demonstrated to me that he's got a very good jab. He's very powerful, and he closes gaps very well. But in the Danny Jacobs fight, I thought he lost that fight. Yeah. So therefore, I slightly favour Canelo to win this fight.
Ben at Ben10, 150. If a fight between Deontay Wilder and Tony Bellew ever happened, who would win and why?
Who do you think's going to win that fight? Don't try to put the pressure on me. Who do you think's going to win that fight? No.
Listen, I must go back to Bellew's last performance and just give him credit for stepping up, because I don't care what anyone says, the whole world betted he would have lost, but it's just the way he came out and did what he had to do. So based on that, I wouldn't write him off at all. would not write him off.
Let me tell you this. Tony Bellew is WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And I'm saying, if Gerald Washington guy could outbox, he was comprehensively outboxing Deontay Wilder. I'm telling you, Tony Bellew's a better boxer than that Gerald Washington. Tony Bellew's got a fantastic chance of causing an upset. And people say, oh, you're only saying this because it's Sky, you know Tony. No, I'm saying this because I believe it. And I know what happens now, because last week we saw Deontay Wilder go at Johnny Nelson because of things that Johnny Nelson said about him getting knocked out in sparring. I don't know nothing about that. I'm saying this. Tony Bellew has got the capabilities to most probably outbox Deontay Wilder. If he can win, I want him to win. So we'll see.
Bring this back round to you, July 1st, the O2. What can the fans expect to see from you that night?
A new haircut.
Something, yeah, and maybe a new trim, but something exciting. Something exciting, you know. I'm preparing myself really well, and I'm gonna give it 100%. That's what they can expect from me. Once I enter those ropes, everything is 100%, and I go in there and I put it out there, and then come out victorious.
Are you nervous, excited, bit of both?
Yeah, I'm always nervous, which is good because that's what makes me train and to push myself. So when I get in the ring, my head's clear and it's time to go.
Okay, well, good luck for July 1st. That's all from us this week. Join us next week for more #toe-to-toe.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live on all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.